Good morning and welcome to the 13th Annual Hillsborough Community College Annual Scholarship Partners Breakfast. My name is Jim Fernandez. I'm the chairman of the board of the foundation. In my day job, I'm a financial advisor with Morgan Stanley, but when I'm not doing that, I'm trying to raise money for the foundation, and thank you for all the supporters that we have in the room. Today it's my pleasure to serve as your MC. And on behalf of the foundation, I would like to thank the Suncoast Credit Union Foundation for providing us the opportunity to be here today. We appreciate their continued significant support. And I would also, at this moment, ask that all of the foundation board members please stand up and be recognized. Thank you very much. I'm going to introduce Dr. Atwater and have him come up to the podium, but before I do that, I have a special request. At each of your tables, there is likely to be a student sitting with you, and I encourage those of you who are not students to reach out and introduce yourself to the students and get to know them. Ask them to explain how HCC has made a difference in their lives. And I ask you to learn more about their dreams and aspirations. It is my hope that what you hear from these students will inspire you to support our foundation in any way that you can. Dr. Ken Atwater has been president of HCC since 2010. His leadership and enthusiasm for all things that impact HCC are infectious. His dedication to the importance of the community has helped more clearly define the college's role in the Tampa Bay area, and the foundation is proud to be his partner in helping to build a stronger college and experience for the kids. Please welcome Dr. Kenneth Atwater.
Thanks, Jim. Good morning. You know, this is a great time to come in to celebrate all the donors and what you've done for our students. But Jim talked about it earlier about the foundation board. Let me just echo what he said. You know, the college couldn't be successful without the support of the foundation board and community members. So I'm going to ask a special favor of you, if you don't mind. Would you join me in giving another round of applause to the foundation board members and Suncoast? You've been a partner with the college ever since I've been here, and truly, truly, we appreciate that partnership. How about giving them a round of applause? You know, this breakfast this morning gives me the opportunity to express our deepest gratitude for many of the college's most loyal supporters and community partners. You've entrusted us as stewards of your precious resources, and I can assure you that we treat that responsibility with the utmost care. In fact, through your generosity, we have awarded nearly $11.8 million in scholarships to over 11,000 students over the last 15 years. That is tremendous. You need to give yourself a round of applause. And with over 64% of our students requiring some type of financial assistance, these scholarships truly alters the student's life direction. We're working hard and diligently to ensure that our community is aware of the depth and breadth of HCC. We serve over 44,000 students at our centers, campuses, and in growing online programs each year. We're offering more than 130 academic options. We serve the largest number of recent graduates from the Hillsborough County School District, and we're the largest community college feeder to the University of South Florida. And we have asserted our rightful position as the primary provider of workforce education in our region. We're providing training that is contributing to the thriving economic landscape of our community. We're educating those that elevate the quality of healthcare in the community, those that teach in our school system, those that protect and defend our families, those that enable us to move about our community safely and seamlessly. These are the programs that you're investing in. Nearly 90% of our students are from this community, and 84% of our graduates stay here after graduation. Therefore, I hope that you consider your investment an investment in your community, and you are ensuring our students have the resources they need to become contributing members of society. Our students are a microcosm of our region. They represent diverse background, distinct learning ability, and have their own educational goals. Though each is unique, they share a common desire to do something more with their life, something better. Later, you will hear about one of our current students, Leo, as well as one of our wonderful alumni, Patsy. Each face their own challenges to make their journey to HCC, but they both share something, a willingness to work hard and make huge sacrifices to be here. These are the lives that we have the privilege of working with every day. It is our hope that students like Leo will follow in the steps of graduates like Patsy and go on to become productive members of our community. It is also our goal that they will take the knowledge that they gain at HCC, like Patsy has, and use it to create a meaningful change and opportunity for others to do the same. I know that their stories will inspire you, and I hope you will continue to share in their journey, as well as the journey of so many other deserving students through your continued support to the HCC Foundation. We're grateful to count you among the HCC family, and I hope you are as proud as I am of the life-altering impact your gift have provided to our students. Thank you again for being here, but more importantly, thank you for your investment in our students. Thank you.
As you can see in the program, our next speaker was supposed to be one of our scholarship recipients. Unfortunately, sometimes life events get in the way, and he was unable to be with us this morning. So in his place, we will hear from Kathleen King, who is director of the HCC Honors Institute. Kathleen is passionate about the program and more than 230 students in the honors program that she serves. She's dedicated to the mission of HCC and takes every opportunity to mentor students regardless of their campus or program. Kathleen has served as president of the Florida Collegiate Honors Council. She serves on the National Collegiate Honors Council Board of Directors and is the co-chair of the NCHC Partners in the Parks program, a product of the honors education herself. As a non-traditional student, Kathleen believes that the state, regional, and national commitments of the HCC Honors Program serve students in many ways as they transfer and ultimately complete their graduate degrees. Please join me in welcoming Kathleen King to the podium.
Thank you so much for being here. Can we take a moment and ask our students to please stand? I'd like to applaud every one of them this morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. Our students are superheroes. This was a statement made by one of our professors to me just yesterday. It's a statement that could be and is made just about every day. I'm here to introduce you to a student today who is scheduled to speak and who is among our superheroes, but unfortunately he could not be here. Leo lives a life similar to many of our students. He works through the night and attends school by day and studies architecture and design tirelessly and with passion. Leo drives his siblings to school each day to ensure that they too receive an education, and does whatever he can to support his family. Leo's not here today because of his concern for his family. His father lost his job this week with just 2 days' notice. This is the second time his parents have lost their jobs this year. Previously, his family was evicted and struggled to find a home for several months. He fears that that will happen again. Leo has discovered his dreams can become a reality through hard work and determination. As a first-generation college student, protected through the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, he has fought the typical battles in reasoning his absence with his family as being integral to his academic and intellectual development, always with the constant fear of losing his family due to their current citizenship status in the U.S. Regardless of his personal struggles, he has continued to make progress as a very strong student and a leader among his peers. Leo has continued his academics while also founding clubs on campus, serving in a variety of leadership positions, and serving his greater community. The scholarship he receives from the foundation has made all the difference in his success. It means fewer nights worked, and a gained confidence that someone cares about his progress. It means he can better concentrate on his academics and become a successful architect. How can we understand the pressures of an undocumented student? How do we understand the pressures of any of our students? Many of us will never know the hardships, but your support makes all the difference. I hope you know I speak for Leo and all of our students when I say thank you. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your continued support. And thank you so much for being present to celebrate our students' success and to hear their stories. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Patsy Sanchez. Patsy is USF's Director of Diversity and Inclusion. She also serves as Director of the university's Latino Scholarship program. She earned a master's degree in Spanish literature and a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of South Florida. And she is also an HCC alumnus. She's been featured in national journals such as Diverse Issues in Higher Education and is a regular speaker at national leadership conferences at various community events. She's the recipient of several prestigious awards. She was most recently honored by Tampa Hispanic Heritage, Inc. as its 2016 Woman of the Year. Please welcome Patsy Sanchez.
Good morning, everyone. President Atwater, sponsors and partners and graduates and students. I'd like to first begin with thanking Donna Wolski, who invited me here today. I've been attending this breakfast for a few years as a partner and as a chair of a number of community organizations, but it is my pleasure today to be here in front of you as a graduate of Hillsborough Community College. How I got here is a story similar to that of many fellow graduates and current students. I came to the USA from Cuba when I was 13 years old to an amazing city my parents and I immediately called home. We moved in with my uncle to a modest home on North Boulevard and Columbus Drive, not yet Martin Luther King. The Tampa Bay Mall was a few miles away. My life had undergone a major reset, a 360-degree change, and we started from scratch with college dreams, goals, and aspirations, but not a clue as to the opportunities this amazing country had to offer. It was 1980, and Dad worked at Lum's, a restaurant, washing dishes, and Mom worked at a vegetable packaging plant, cutting vegetables. Dad drove the only car we owned, and Mom relied on the public transportation. My younger brother and I went to summer school. I was placed in a bilingual class. We sat around a table taking turns reading words in books, science books, history books. God, I knew then, had blessed me with good linguistic skills because before I could understand what I was reading, they took me out of bilingual class and put me in regular classes. So being linguistically, having that advantage was both a curse and a blessing at the time. But I swam. I had to sink or swim, and I chose to swim. I went to Hillsborough High School for my freshman year and graduated from Latino High School in 1985, which gives away my age. Don't think I don't know you're doing the math, some of you. That's okay. Financial aid and scholarships were foreign words to me. My parents got ahead by working several jobs, and I thought I had to do the same. So in my senior year of high school, I looked for a part-time job to save money. I can count with one hand how many of my friends went on to college, but I knew my parents had sacrificed much so that I would have that opportunity, and I couldn't let them down. And so I enrolled at my community college here at HCC. Before I knew it, I found myself working full-time at a bank to pay for school. No offense to bankers here in the room, Michael, Jim. No offense to my own husband, who is the CEO of the Florida Bankers Association. But I remember at the time pausing and thinking, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Ouch. I was at the very bottom, very, very bottom. Does HCC have a yearbook? No. If it did, my picture would be right next to the words, is she ever going to graduate? It took me 7 years to complete my associate's degree. And I know that many of you are familiar with that story. I was working to support my family, like our current student, and the reason why he couldn't be here. But there are worse statistics than that, like the number of students who feel that life got in the way and gave up on their dreams. They dropped out. Or the students who never came because they thought they couldn't afford it. I found meaning in the phrase, it's a catch-22, because I worked, I didn't qualify for financial aid. And by the time I learned that I was likely eligible for scholarships, it was too late. I had almost finished my degree. I earned a bachelor's in psychology and Spanish literature and then went on for my master's in Spanish literature at USF. After graduating, it was time to pay it forward. And so I coordinated a dropout prevention program through Hispanic Services Council, providing much needed services and guidance to the new arrivals from Latin America, students and families with the same dreams and aspirations as me and my family. USF allowed me the opportunity to recruit talented students from the Bay Area and through Florida. And when I asked my supervisor to allow me to recruit students in Puerto Rico, he also said yes. And that initiative is paying dividends today, as many of those professionals choose to call Tampa home. The Latino Scholarship, which I have been in charge of for the last 15 years of its 25 years, has allowed me to take that desire to help students who were like me to the next level. Thanks to our generous Tampa Bay community, our program boasts over 450 graduates, many of whom started here. These students, I've had the privilege of providing personal guidance to these students, many of whom I'm in contact with today. The impact on education had on them changed their lives. And although they have many things in common, discipline, drive, perseverance, today I'm most proud of the fact that they are all products of Hillsborough Community College. And you should be very proud of that too. Take, for example, the story of Josbel Blanco. He lost his mom to cancer during his senior year of high school. He left Cuba with his dad and younger brother, and the three started their lives here in Tampa. He found the support he needed at HCC and then transferred to USF with a Latino scholarship that helped him pay for school. He graduated in 2011 and was admitted into UF's School of Dentistry. He is currently Dr. Josbel Blanco, And this institution was the springboard that propelled him to that success he now enjoys. Stephen Vardalos dropped out of high school. Most teachers had given up on him. Worse, he had given up on himself. He hung out with the wrong people. He got in trouble with the law and became homeless. Until one teacher talked to him about an alternative program, and he set out to prove everyone wrong. He found an environment he needed, the environment he needed to thrive and stay on track here at HCC. And when he applied to the USF Latino Scholarship program, we also said yes. And this young man is forever grateful for second chances, for the generosity of donors like many of you in this room, and for the support institutions like HCC and USF provided. Today, Stephen Vardalos is a graduate of Northeastern University School and is a successful attorney. The third one is me. And I thank HCC for not kicking me out after the third, fourth, or fifth year, and for supporting my dreams. It did take me a long time to finish my associate's degree, but now I enjoy the opportunity to share this college knowledge with today's prospective students and their families. An opportunity and a responsibility we all have to help someone else, to become mentors, to create scholarships, so that those that come behind don't make the same mistakes that we did. In addition to the 115 students that I support through the Latino Scholarship at USF, my husband and I personally provide scholarship for 2 students who know anything is possible when you put your mind and heart to it, not because they read it in a book or an article, but because their mentors, Alex and I, are examples of how great this country is. A country where a 5-year-old immigrant boy can become the first Hispanic CEO of the Florida Bankers Association, and a 13-year-old can become a role model for hundreds of students who, like me, share one dream, the dream of attaining a college degree. I thank HCC for being that first step of making those dreams come true, and I encourage all of you to continue to support others through scholarships and mentorships. Thank you so much.
You know, in this country, we are having a very big discussion about the differences between the haves and the have-nots, and the 1%ers and the 99%ers. And I'm a firm believer that that difference can be made much smaller through education. And it's through stories like the one that Patsy just shared with us that this institution can help bring people up from poverty and develop an ability to move up in life. So with that, I would like to introduce Chris Taylor, who is with the William A. Gregory Foundation, who has contributed $25,000 annually to the HCC Scholarship Fund. It's valued at $2,500 per scholarship, so they provide 10 scholarships a year. The Gregory Scholarships are the largest scholarships awarded by the HCC Foundation. This year they renewed their pledge for $50,000 for 2016 and 2017, and it will boost their scholarship investment to $175,000 over 5 years. Included in their pledge is an opportunity to have donors have their gifts to the foundation matched, and Chris is going to tell you a little bit more about that. It's my great pleasure to introduce Chris. He's a trustee of the Gregory Foundation. He's joining us this morning to talk about why he and his fellow trustees are committed to helping HCC students achieve their educational dreams and how you can join them to make a difference for the foundation. Chris?
Good morning. First, I would like to introduce the other 2 board members from the Gregory Foundation that are here with me today. That is Karen Mills and Heidi Mccree. And I'd like to tell you, first of all, that as board members of the Gregory Foundation, we do the scariest thing on the planet. We used to think it was the coolest thing, you know, when the idea came that we were going to get to give away OPM. OPM is other people's money. And that sounds really neat, but when you think about it, that's a huge responsibility. It's a tremendous responsibility, and we were concerned. We were like, how are we going to decide what we do? And Mr. Gregory, who I never met, but my understanding was an excellent businessman, despite a lack of education, we thought, you know, in the spirit of making decisions, I think we need to do it like a business person. And we all decided that's how we were going to do it. We're going to look at it, and we're going to look at it like how Mr. Fernandez might look at it when he was looking at making an investment with somebody's money at Morgan Stanley, or Mr. Sanchez might look at it when he's making an investment as a banker to do it. So we decided that's what we're going to do. We're going to evaluate this based upon business decisions. And so one of the first things we decided was, how are we going to keep score? You know, with a business, you keep score by how much money you make. That's easy. But when we're talking about doing this, how are we going to keep score? How are we going to measure our ROI, return on investment? And we decided what we were going to do was we were going to measure it based upon the impact that money made on people's lives. How much can we change lives with Mr. Gregory's money? So the first thing that we did is we decided we're going to measure potential for growth. If you're looking at a company and they've peaked out and they already have about as much market share as you think that they can get, that company's not going to grow that much. If it's a startup and it's just beginning and they've got less than 0.1% of their market share, there might be huge potential for growth. But let me tell you, the students that we have met that have been recipients of Gregory scholarships, the ones that were our particular ones, overwhelmingly more than half of them were first generation students. The students at HCC, I know that at least a third of them are all first generation students. What does that mean? That means they're the first people in their family to go to college. That's the kind of thing that breaks a cycle. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. Potential for growth. The second thing is we want to see a track record. You know, if a company is going to be successful and I'm going to invest in it, I want to see that that company, you know, has been successful thus far. I don't want to invest in a company that's losing money. Well, these students that the foundation has selected to receive Gregory's scholarships have all shown a track record of perseverance and fighting through obstacles and getting their grades anyways. So we definitely feel like we see a track record there. One of the things that I always like to see in a company is some type of employee participation, okay? One of the things that people always brag about Publix all the time is that all their employees that have been there for a while have stock in the company, they're invested in the company, they feel as though the success of their company is part of what they do. They're involved in it, okay? Well, every student that I've met that received a Gregory Foundation scholarship works. They work a job. Some of them work 2 jobs. Some of them work and take care of siblings or take care of elder family members that are with them, or maybe they're married and they have children. These are all people who are participating in their lives, making things happen. I'm going to digress for a second and say you see these things on Facebook about spoiled college students and all they're trying to do is, I don't know. I don't know where those are. Not in this room. In this room, what you have are people who are dedicated towards changing their lives, and they are participating in the success of the company that we are investing in. I guess, actually, I liked what you said, Ms. Sanchez, when you said, in a world of sink or swim, they're all choosing to swim. And they're choosing to swim despite how hard the current is flowing and how deep the water is. So when we started thinking about ROI and what we could do, we ended up here at HCC. Mostly actually from the strength of Karen and Heidi and the things that they had noticed. We do a lot of scholarships in different areas, the Gregory Foundation does. And candidly, $25,000 at University of Tampa, which we do, is a wonderful investment. But in terms of ROI, return on investment, $25,000 at HCC creates 10 full scholarships. 10 full scholarships. That's way different. That's like buying penny petroleum stocks with huge opportunities to increase so much, I can't tell you. The students that we have met, and today we got to meet Jacob and Shannon and Michael that received our scholarships, and I'm sorry that the student wasn't here because, well, actually, probably it's a good thing because I'm such a softie. I would end up here with tears down my face and everything else because that's how good not one person's story is. All of their stories are that way. So we were thinking, for just $2,500, somebody who's a first-generation student who's working one job besides being a full-time student, taking care of maybe their own child or their siblings from a family that is first generation, they're going to break the cycle and have the education. Wow, what a chance to make an impact on lives for just $2,500. We thought that's huge ROI. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for a return on investment in Mr. Gregory's money. So we met with Donna and Steve, and I made the mistake of saying, how could we increase the impact on this? Because everybody always wants a bigger, no matter how much money, Mr. Fernandez tell you, no matter how much money you're making for your clients, they're always going to want to know, hey, how could we get even more return? Maybe we should have bought more of that stock or, what have you. So we asked them, what can we do? And they came up with the classic business solution. If you've got a great investment, how do you make more money on that investment? You leverage it. You use OPM. We're going to leverage it. This is what we're going to do. So, thus the creation of the Gregory Match. And what we did is we said, we're going to take $25,000 and those aren't going to go to Gregory scholarships. We want to use that. No, we want you, the HCC Foundation, to use that money to leverage other people's investment with the idea that these other people, now I was just talking about the amazing impact that you can have on somebody's lives and change it for $2,500. Nope. For the first $25,000 that comes in, you can make a huge impact and change for $1,250 because we'll match the other $1,250 up to $25,000. So for $1,250, you can change people's lives. To me, that represents an incredible return on investment. USF and UT are wonderful institutions, and we will continue our support at those institutions. But I can't go to USF or the University of Tampa and totally change someone's lives for $1,250 and do that. So with that in mind, there's an envelope on your table, okay? And despite whatever the Gregory Foundation contribution is, the greatest thing about these envelopes is they have a little box you can check and use your credit card, okay? And what I'm going to ask you to do is to take out that envelope and make some contribution. But what I really want you to do is decide that you are going to change a life and write down $1,250, and we're going to match it. Okay? And when I sit down, I'll write down my own name, not the Gregory Foundation, and I'll write down $1,250 and put my credit card. And I'm going to ask that all of you do that. Now, does that mean if you're not going to give $1,250, don't put anything on the envelope? Not at all. These students' lives are changed and impacted with amounts far less than that. In a world of sink and swim, sink or swim, let's help them all swim. In a land that is changing all the time, and we desire, we hope, we strive in the United States, no matter who you are, that we're a meritocracy. That's what we want. We want people to rise to a level based upon their talent and their work ethic and what they put into it, not how they were born. And education is the one thing that we need to provide an equal platform for. Change a life, please, and write something down on the envelope. Thank you very much.
Okay, folks, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you, Chris, for that extraordinary presentation. And in closing, I'd like to say thank you to all of our guests and visitors. Thank you, Dr. Atwater. Thank you to the board members who have been here. Thank you to Chris and the Gregory Foundation, the trustees. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your continued interest. Thank you for your incredible support and the impact that you're making on so many lives. You know, we've heard some great stories. We've heard about Patsy, a 13-year-old who came from Cuba, didn't speak the language, has gotten into a very enviable position at USF, marries someone who's head of the Florida Bankers Association, another Cuban immigrant. That's a very personal story to me because my business partner is also a fellow Cuban immigrant who came over on a plane, not a boat, but is a highly successful financial advisor at Morgan Stanley. You heard about Leo, the individual, the student scholarship recipient who was supposed to be up here and talk to you and tell you about his very personal story and the challenges that he faces in trying to get through school and aspiring to be an architect. But because of some very difficult circumstances that can not only impact his immediate future, but potentially whether or not his family gets to stay in this country. These are real problems, and these are problems that you, as donors to this institution, are helping to make a better outcome. So thank you for being here. Chris mentioned there are envelopes at the table. On the way out, as you exit the ballroom, there will be students who are going to be collecting name tags. Please provide those to the students as you leave. Thank you for being here, and we wish you continued success. Thank you.